Hi, I'm Dr. Glenn Huff, one of your eFaculty coaches. I get to give you a peek behind the curtain on what coaches are using to help you create a course that best represents you and Tarrant County College. Right now, coaches use 3 Google Forms that are aligned with what's called the Quality Matters rubric that you've heard about. General Standard 1 talks about course overview and instruction. Is the overall design of the course made clear to the learner at the beginning of the course? The course overview and instruction sets the tone for the course, and it lets the learners know what to expect. It provides other guidance to help learners succeed from the outset of the course. It's always a best practice to presume every student is a first-time online learning student, and give them really detailed instructions on how to navigate your classroom. Make sure there's clear instructions on how to get started in the course. You can use things like a course tour, scavenger hunt, syllabus quiz, audio or video message from you, and make sure that you use a Start Here or Read Me First button. Anything that the student needs to get started to make instructions clear should be in your Start Here button. We want to create a good first impression and eliminate negative emotions like uncertainty, anxiety, and fear of online learning. Remember the first time you got into Blackboard and how confusing it was? Well, that's the perspective of a new student or one who isn't very savvy with technology. What can you do to make that journey easier and create a connection with the student? How can you make your instructions super clear? Again, a welcome video so that they feel like they get to know you and see your face is a great start. Screenshots, walking a student through the course is another option, and some professors have done a video of this as well. Be sure to include a transcript of your video for ADA purposes. If you use YouTube, YouTube does that for you automatically. Also included on the first form are some critical components for communicating with your students. Your faculty guide lays out the expectations for these basic communications, and by including these 2 things in your ICR or syllabus, you let the student know exactly what to expect. But you need to stick by it too. If you write it down, make sure that you do it. Our promise to students is that instructors will respond to emails within 24 hours or by Monday if they send it over the weekend. Also, we have to tell the student when and how they can expect to get feedback from us during the course. Feedback from us can really make or break an online student's perception of the course and the school. Make sure that your ICR and your syllabus align with the TCC faculty guide. We look for, is there a policy clearly stated? If it is stated, is it aligned? We're not looking to get you, we're looking to make sure that our classes are as good as they possibly can be. Our second look at your course follows QM Rubric Standard 5 and 6, learning activities that facilitate and support learner interaction and engagement. We want the student to interact with their peers and engage with the content of the course. That's kind of a no-brainer. So what are we using to engage the student? The best rated courses have a substantial instructor presence. Students need to know that you are next to them and with them through the process. Nearly all of us can step up our game on learner to instructor interaction. Announcements and weekly emails are the base level of this. How many announcements and how many emails are you sending to stay in contact with your students? A video or an audio of the week continues that connection with the student. They continue to see your face and hear your voice. If you have a discussion board in your course, this is an excellent opportunity to interact with your students. Use their name. Using their name is easy and simple, and we all like to see our names, and it makes us feel important. Each time you respond to a student in a discussion, their first thought is, this professor really cares about me. It can actually be an honor to get a response from you. You can gently correct or guide the student's thinking, ask higher order thinking questions, direct them to current events. The bottom line is that it matters if you participate with them. So if you have a discussion board with content that's visible in Blackboard, regularly interact with your students. It doesn't take that long. A second thing we look at is, does this course incorporate other LMS-based tools that promote communication and interaction and engagement? You may be thinking, are discussions the only thing I can use? No. There's lots of other tools that you can use in your course to help learners actively engage with each other, with the content, and with you. There's some examples like software that facilitates interaction in real time. We call this synchronous learning. collaborative tools, webinars, virtual worlds, gamification. You can also use software that facilitates asynchronous interaction, like shared documents, wikis, journals. These are all options for you, and they're all things that you can give students feedback on. When we look at your class, we're looking to see if there are other opportunities that you created for learners to engage, and it's not just boring rote learning. We sometimes forget how important feedback is to students. They want to know how they did. It's really easy for a lot of courses to simply use quizzes, tests, worksheets as our formative and summative assessments. Those aren't always the best ways to assess the learner's thinking, and because it's a number score, feedback opportunities are limited. But if the only opportunity to give written feedback in your gradebook is the discussion board, then make it meaningful. Use the student's name, and use the good news, bad news sandwich. Tell them something good, something they need to work on, and end with encouragement. There are some very important reasons we look at learner to instructor communication. For example, the federal government wants to see regular and substantial interaction. This means two-way communication, not just one way. So as you sit there, are you thinking of some ways to create that dialogue in your classroom? Regional compliance also requires us to give evidence of our learner to instructor interactions. How the students perceive the communication is important. Most every student wants to communicate in some way with their professor. Not only does this improve your course review score, but it can help reduce or eliminate drops from your course. You have to know that students enrolled because they want to be successful. But life gets in the way, and online education is not nearly as easy as they think. So feedback and regular communication with them helps create that connection that might enable them to push through to complete the course. The main takeaway is that our presence in the course matters. It matters to the student, TCC, and the government. Nearly every school has online courses now, so what sets ours apart? What makes us better than the thousands of other schools that students can attend remotely? Well, you already know the answer. Our instructors, you, and the quality of the product that we deliver. Students vote with their feet. If their product is substandard, they will leave. You're dedicated to what you do, let it show in your online or remote classroom. That's what Quality Matters is all about, and that's what your eFaculty coaches are here to help you with.